Coming. Huh? Jai Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jai Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Madhava Kunja Bihari Gopi Jana Vallabha Givaradhari Gopi Jana Vallabha Givaradhari Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Givaradhari Vallabha Hari Yashodanandana Braja Janaranjana Yashodanandana Braja Janaranjana Yashodanandana Braja Janaranjana Yamuna Tira Vanachari Ravanachari Yamuna Tira Vanachari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari Vallabha Girivaradhari Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari Yashodanandana Braja Janaranjana Yashodanandana Braja Janaranjana Braja Janaranjana Yamuna Tira Vanachari Yamuna Tira Vanachari Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Jaya Radha Madhava Radhe Madhava Jaya Gauranitai Jaya Gauranitai Jaya Jaya Prabhupada Jaya Prabhupada Jaya Prabhupada Jaya Prabhupada Om Vishnupada Paramamsa Pariraja Stotra His Divine Grace अभय चरणाविंदे श्री भक्ति वेदांत स्वामी शिल प्रभुपाद की जय। ओम विष्णुपाद परमहंस परिराजकार्य अष्टोत्तर शत श्रीमद् दिव्य शीला भक्त सिद्धांत सरस्वती गोस्वामी महाराज शिल प्रभुपाद की अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की ग्रंथराज श्रीमद् भागवतम की हिताय गौर प्रेमंदे। All glories assembled devotees, all glories assembled devotees, all glories to Sri Sri Guru and Gauranga, all glories to Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskrityam Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayamudirahe Nastapra Ishvabhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavate Uttamas Loke Bhakti Bhavati Naishtaki Krishnaya Vasudevaya Devaki Nandanaya Cha Nandagopa Kumaraya Govindaya Namo Namah. Hare Krishna, we are reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 10, Samam Bhavanam, Chapter 89, chapter entitled Krishna and Arjuna retrieve the son, Brahmana's sons. Text number 18. Please repeat. Trividha kratasya tasya rakshasa surasuraha agunaya mayaya sthiraha Sattvam tattita sadhanam trividhakasya tasya idhakasya rakshasasya surasuraha gunaya mayaya sthirata Sattvam tatrita sadhanam Trividha karatasya tasya akaratasya Rakshasasya asura suraha Gunaya mayaya stistaha Sattvam tatrita sadhanam. Please chant. Trivida akarataya tasya Saha suraha suraha Gunaya maya sthidaha Tvam tatita sadhanam Trividaya karaya satasya Rakshasasya sura suraha Guniya mayaya stritha Sattvam tattitaha sadhanam. Will you try? Trividha akara tasya tasya Rakshasa sura suraha Gunaya mayaya srestha Tasattvam tattitaha sadhanam. Okay, thank you. Word to word meaning? Trividha, of the three kinds. Akarataha, of forms. Tasya, of his. Rakshasasya, the ignorant spirits. Asuraha, the demons, Suraha, and the demigods, Gunayam, qualified by the material modes, Mayaya, by his material energy, Sristaha, created, Sattvam, the mode of goodness, Tat, among them, Titaha, of success in life, Sadhanam, the means of attainment. Translation and purport by disciples of A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Translation: the Lord expanded into three kinds of manifested being, and the Rakshasas, the demons, and the demigods, all of whom are created by the Lord's material energy and conditioned by her modes. But among these three modes, it is the mode of goodness which is the means of attaining life's final success. Purport: in Krishna, Srila Prabhupada writes, there are different kinds of people existing in the modes of material nature. Those who are in the mode of ignorance are called Rakshasas. Those who are in the mode of passion are called Asuras, demons. And those who are in the mode of goodness are called Suras, or demigods. Under the direction of the Supreme Lord, these three classes of men are created by the material nature, but those who are in the mode of goodness have a greater chance to be elevated to the spiritual world, back home, back to Godhead. Text 19. Sri Sukhovacha itam saraswatam vipra nirnam samsayanunutyaye purushasya padmabhoja sevaya tad gitam gataha. Sukadeva Goswami said, the learned Brahmanas living along the river Saraswati came to this conclusion in order to dispel the doubts of all people. Thereafter, they render devotional service to the Supreme Lord's lotus feet and attain his abode. Text 20. श्रीसुतो उवाच इति एतन्मुनितना यस्य पद्मगन्धा पुरुषं भावभवायाद्भिप्रारास्य पुंसा सुक्लोकं श्रवणपूता पबिताभीक्षणं विदो आत्मब्राह्मण परिस्मरं जयति. Sri Shuddha Goswami said, thus did this fragrant nectar flow from the lotus mouth of Sukadeva Goswami and the son of sage of Vyasadeva. This wonderful glorification of the Supreme Person destroys all fear of the material existence. A traveler who constantly drinks this nectar through his ear holes will forget the fatigue brought on the wandering along the path of worldly life. Purport: this narration by Srila Sukadeva Goswami is precious in two ways. For those who are suffering from spiritual infirmity, it is an effective tonic to cure the disease of illusion, and for the surrendered Vaishnavas, it is a delicious and invigorating beverage, fragrant with the aroma of Sri Sukha realization. Om Ajnana-timirandhasya Gnananjanam Shalakaya Chakshurulmitam Jena Tasmai Sri Gurave Namaha. Sri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Stapitam Jena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Swapadantikam Namavom Vishnupadaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Niti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharini निर्विशेषा शून्यवादी पाश्चात्यदेशतारिणि जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभो नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्येव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः. Hare Krishna. Thank you for coming this morning Srimad Bhagavatam class. So this text 18 explains the persons who are in the mode of ignorance are called Rakshasas, and the person who are in the mode of passions or person who are in the mode of goodness, they are called demigods. It is up to us that how we want to act in this material world. Nowadays, if we say Rakshasas or demons, nobody will understand who is demon, who is Rakshasas. If I ask you to draw the picture of Rakshasa, you just draw a circle and with two thorns and with dirty teeth and red eyes and all the things. You name it as Rakshasas. But Bhagavad Gita has a different meaning of Rakshasas. In Bhagavad Gita, 18th chapter, it says, Dambo Darpo Abhimanascha Krodam Parushrame Vacha. So it says pride, arrogance, and anger. These are the qualities of the Rakshasas. That's the point where Bhagavad Gita defines. In previous ages, Rakshasas are clearly defined by their identity, by their action, by their words, and by their behavior. Just by seeing at some particular person, easily in those age they could able to figure it out because his dress was nice and he looks very dangerous and ugly and he does the things something which are ugly. But in the age of Kali Yuga, people they don't act people they don't look like Rakshasas. They look very nice externally and they behave externally very nice. But the time, place, circumstances that Rakshasas qualities within come out. Because just like when you are walking on the street, if you see a valuable $100 bill note or something gold, person who sees that first thing, he just pick it up and thinks that how to enjoy. And second person, he thinks that okay, let me find out whom it belongs to. And third person, he thinks that okay, give them charity. So these are all three kinds of person. First person who thinks that let me take it and enjoy. That means he has a quality of enjoyment. Srila Radhanath Swami says that in the age of Kali, everybody inside there is some qualities of goodness with the demigods and some qualities of the Rakshasas. Because as soon as you see some object, you like to enjoy for yourself. And that's the mentality of the Ravan. The Ravana, wherever he goes, usually what he does, how do I enjoy this woman? How do I enjoy this person? How do I enjoy this palace? Why this palace this belongs to him? Why cannot it belongs to me? Like when he was, traveling different planets, he found that Kubera's palace was very attractive. And he thought, let me pick it up and put it in my Lanka. So for my service. So these are all the things that Ravana was thinking. In that way, he found, you know, the things that which are women in the planet of snakes and in the planet of heavenly. He found that woman like let me enjoy this woman. So that's why he keep on collecting from everything And at the same time, when he was collecting different things which belongs to that person, and he's trying to enjoy, at the same time he is also collecting the curses from the different persons. Since they couldn't able to do anything because he's so powerful, and what they used to do, if you are unable to do with a strong person, if you are so weak and the opposite person is very strong, you cannot able to do anything. But what you can do is that what they are doing is that they are just cursing from within. Let this fellow be destroyed. Why? Because that belongs to them. In the Bhagavad Gita, first chapter, Arjuna gives 5 reasons not to fight. First is compassion, second is enjoyment, and third is family reaction of sinful activities. Fourth is destruction of the family. When in that destruction of the family section, he gives the 6 things that 6 peoples are immediately to be killed. They are called akatais. Akatais. And in that word, akatai means person who gives the poison in the food. Second, who attacks with a deadly weapon. Third, a person who steals other wife. And fourth, who plunders their riches. Like that. And fifth, person who sets the fire to the house. Like that. He is named that if a person who is stealing the other's property without proper dealing or for proper buying, a person who is stealing others' wife, they are meant to be killed right away. So these are all the qualities of the demons that they work on it. So here Lord is saying that Lord has expanded into 3 manifested beings: Rakshasas, demons, and the demigods. So the Rakshasas are in the ignorance, demons in the mode of passion, and demigods in mode of goodness. Now it is always recommended that person who wants to attain highest perfection of life, highest success in life, they have to be situated in the mode of goodness. So Srila Prabhupada says there are different same thing. The Prabhupada says that one thing is under the direction of the Supreme Lord, these 3 classes of men are created by the material nature. Or one may say that Lord has been created. What is there our fault? Correct? Because it has been created by the Lord and people are taking. One should understand that when Lord has created, Lord has given you option to choose which one you want to be. And you should not think that, okay, Lord has only created all these things, let me act as a mode of ignorance, let me act as a Rakshasas or a demon. No. For example, in the competitive exams, choose the correct answer. We have given 4 answers. Among the 4 answers, there is one answer which is correct. We have to intelligently answer that, tick that option. If you are thinking, okay, these questions and these answers are all given by the examiner, let me take all the answers correct. Will you going to pass? No. Because Lord has also created everything in this material world, like fruits, plants, and also Lord has created the plants which are poisonous. Will you take that? No. That's why we have to choose to be in the mode of goodness. The mode of goodness which are many things, like in the shastras it says the person who wants to be in the mode of goodness wake up early in the morning and attend mangalarti, chant the holy name of the Lord, attend Bhagavatam class, attend Guru Puja, read the scriptures, then automatically you will be more situated in the mode of goodness. That's why it is said, early to bed, early to rise makes man healthy and wise. Correct. When you go early to bed, you wake up early in the morning. As soon as you wake up, you cleanse yourself and chant the holy name of the Lord. Then one can be situated in the mode of goodness. It's simple. But people are so addicted and so habituated to go late in the night bed. And when you go obviously late in the night, what 12 o'clock or 1 o'clock or 10 at least 11 o'clock, you will not wake up early in the morning. When you don't wake up early in the morning, what happens? There is a science behind it to wake why one should wake up early in the morning. Because as we see, the clock has different, when you see that clock, it has timing keep on changing, like 4 o'clock to 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock and 7 o'clock. Like in our body also there is a system. It has a clock. It will wake up you automatically in the Brahma Muhurta, like early in the morning, so that hormones can act. When you are not activating those hormones, those cells in the body, when it not given any kind of activity, when you take rest in those times, what happens is that those hormones multiplies, those cells multiplies and keeps on multiplying. At one time you wake up very late in the morning, and the ability to handle the stress, ability to tolerate the things which will go down. That's why easily people will get anger, you know and for that, to reduce anger, they join the course of anger management, how to control anger, how to control mind. And for that they do, for to overcome that, they do many things. And for doing many things they work hard. For working hard, they have to sacrifice their night. And for that, if they sacrifice their night without sleeping, without eating proper diet, and they get disease, or they'll become sick. And for the sick, again you have to pay to the doctor. You see, this whole cycle, you are trying to be happy by doing something sense gratification. But at the same time, instead of sense gratification, you end up in paying the doctor bills, and the stress remains as it is. That's why one should wake up early in the morning, you know, so that at least for the body, mental health, so that can be taken care of. When you rise early in the morning, what happens is that the hormones activated, and you do some kind of exercise or chanting or do some kind of activity which will enhance your whole day, which will nourish your whole day. So that's why people, they take up, even that's not belongs to, it's not saying because of Srimad Bhagavatam. Many people, like great people, like many persons, like big businessmen, they are very famous. They also wake up early in the morning. They don't sleep after 5, because they have also realized, because one is that thing that they wanted to be conscious of their health very much, because their health is wealth. When you have a good health, you can do many things. You can run nice business, you can work nicely, your day will be very active. I'm not saying that you will not face any challenge or anything, but even though you face any challenge or any difficult task, your brain and your body will able to capacity is able increased. So the Lord is saying that under his direction this material nature is created. And at the same time, what happens is that we see that persons who are situated in the mode of goodness, and person who wants to have a greater chance to elevate himself to the spiritual world, back home, back to Godhead, they have to be in the mode of goodness. So similarly, in the Brahmanas, person who are born in the Brahmana family, they are not called Brahmanas, but they are called Vipras. When he act according to the Brahmanas guidelines, according to the actions of Brahmanas, the duties of Brahmanas, then they are called as Brahmanas. Just like if you are a minister's son or a daughter, you will be not called as a minister, correct? You will be called as a son of minister or daughter of minister or doctor of daughter, whatever. but you will be not called as doctor because your father has done that. Since your father is a respectable person in the society or community, you will be receive the same respect. But when you want to become that situation, you have to act and you have to study. Similarly, Brahmanas should be also do those activities. There are six activities of the Brahmanas. What are those? Yajan Yajan, Patan Patan, Danam Pratigrahan. Yajan Yajan means he should perform the fire sacrifice and he should encourage others to perform. That is Yajan Yajan. Patan Patan. What is Patan Patan? He should study the Vedas, scriptures, Upanishad. He should encourage others to study the Vedas, scriptures. And it's not that only the scriptures belong to Brahmana community. No, that's why this misunderstanding happened. And Dana Pratigrahan. He should receive the charities from others, and also at the same time he should give the charities. He should not accumulate so much charity, keep on receiving. No, he should also distribute. When he does these basic things, six things, he is called a Brahmana. Otherwise, he is called a Vipra or miserly person who does not use anything for the society or community. So there was a Brahmana learned, and he came to the conclusion of order, and to dispel all his doubts. Thereafter, he rendered devotional service to Supreme Lord to attain his abode. So this is a context where Arjuna retrieves the Krishna and Arjuna retrieves Brahmana's son. What happened here in this story context is there was a Brahmana living in the kingdom of Dwaraka, where Krishna was ruling, and suddenly what happened? The Brahmana son died. Actually, they were disappearing one after other without his knowledge. As soon as Brahmana's wife gave birth, immediately the sons were disappearing, and Brahmanas have no clue where they are going. And it is not a proper that in a kingdom where before his father's passing away, the son is passing away. That's not a good. In front of his father, his son should not die. So that's where he was very concerned about it, and he was asking, "What should I do?" So he came to the Lord and he will ask. And in the same time, it's a kingdom is a in the kingdom king is a responsible for his citizens. They have to look care of the citizens. They don't just go. It's like in Mahabharata it is said in one story, like where Pandavas were in incognito. They are sent to the forest for 14 or 17, 15 years, and in that they come across in one village where the demon is residing there, and from each house of that village, one person has to go to the demon with all kinds of food, and so that he will eat all food and also eat the men. So the family which given shelter to these Pandavas, and on that day, their turn is to go one person from to the demon, because they were always they obviously they were crying and they were you know struggling in the within them, and in that context, Mahabharata tells a story that one should choose the city for living based on the king's rule. If the king is ruling nicely, or whatever the head of the state or head of the country, if he is ruling nicely, then he should move to that city. And based on the king's administration, how is he doing administration in the country or a state or a nation, he should start business or he should work there. And based on the security of the citizen, how people are secure and how people are getting safety, based on that, he should get married. And how in that city or in that state, how children are given protection, our children are being educated. Based on that, he should have a children. happens. So this is a Mahabharata Niti Shastra. It gives the code how one should select city or state based on the kingdoms or kings or head of the state rules. So that's why we have to choose that. So of course, in the Kali Yuga, it's not possible. We never knew what's happening. But one thing we should understand that we have to be very very careful. And in the Kali Yuga, Brahmanas are also not there is no real Brahmanas in the age of Kali. But Brahmanas, at least they are doing if they are doing their duties properly, then they will be the greatest benefit for society because Brahmanas are considered the head of the society. You know, in the age of Kali, at least what we should do is we should act piously. Everybody, chant the holy name of the Lord and encourage everybody to chant the holy name. That is, dana pratigrahana. And everybody should read the scriptures. Ask everybody to encourage everybody to read the scriptures, like just like Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavatam, and also distribute. What we are distributing, books distribution, it is also called as charity distribution. And at the same time, they should do sacrifice. What is in the age of Kali sacrifice is Harinam Sankirtan. When we are doing Harinam Sankirtan, that is the highest sacrifice in the age of Kali. Yagnai Sankirtanai Praya Yajanti Sumedasa. In the age of Kali, Prayena Alpaisha Kalo Asmin Yuge Jana Manda Smanda Matayo Manda Bhagya Upadrishta. In the age of Kali, everybody is short-lived people, and their age is also short, their memory is also short. They are always quarreling, and for small things they get disturbed, and their height is also small. So what we should do? That only one good quality is sacrifice. What is that sacrifice? We should engage our time, our energy in our day-to-day life. Sometime or some or the other, ask encourage the persons to chant the holy name. That is the highest sacrifice, fire sacrifice. So here the order in the Bhagavad Gita we see that there is a verse which says A Brahma Bhuvana Loka Purnaramutti Nuharsana. So when these three planets, like Earth is mode of passion, below Earth is mode of ignorance, and above Earth is even to the Brahma Loka, A Brahma Bhuvana Loka Punaravarti Nuharsana. There is a birth, death, old age, and disease. Of course, they have different kinds, but to get rid of cycle of this birth, death, and old age disease, one has to elevate, one has to practice this Krishna consciousness movement so that they can achieve the highest great perfection of life to back to home, back to Godhead. So, and also in this word in the Bhagavad Gita, there are many verses which talks about the few verses of mode of goodness and passion and ignorance, which very very essential. That's why Bhagavad Gita is a called ABCD study. Bhagavatam is a graduation. CC is post graduation. So that's why anything what you need is study the Bhagavad Gita. Bhagavad Gita gives you the basic knowledge of the Krishna consciousness and our spirituality. When you study Bhagavad Gita, the knowledge which is enlightened and which is enchanting to our mind and which gives you highest benefit and highest pleasure and peace of mind. So Bhagavad Gita is like that. And also persons who is studying Bhagavad Gita, he is worshipping Lord Krishna with his intelligence. That's it. It says everybody can read, everybody get a chance. In the Bhagavad Gita 14th chapter, it says, Mam chayo abhicharena bhakti yogena sevate. Saguna samatiti yutam brahma bhuyata kalpate. One who engages in full devotional service, unfailing in all circumstances, at once transcends the mode of material nature, and thus comes to the level of Brahman. So this question was asked by Arjuna for how we can attain the transcendental position. As explained before, in the material world, acting under the spell of the mode of material nature, one should not be disturbed by the activities of the mode of material nature. Instead of putting his consciousness into such activities, he may transfer to the consciousness of Krishna consciousness. Krishna activities are known as Bhakti Yoga, always acting for Krishna. This includes not only Krishna but a different planetary expansions such as Rama and Narayana. He has innumerable expansion. One who engages in the service of any of the forms of Krishna or his plenary expansion is considered transcendently situated. So one should understand this and act accordingly. So one has to regularly study Bhagavatam, Bhagavad Gita, so that he will be always reminded of his goal. He will be always reminded of his relationship with the Lord. That's why studying books is very, very important. Okay, now I'll stop here. If you see any questions or comments. Okay, then. ग्रंथराज श्रीमद् भागवतम की जय, शिल प्रभुपाद की जय, गौर प्रेमानंदे।